This is a short video to guide RPTs and mentors through the assessment points on the primary PGCE. And during this video, I'm going to refer to the checklist for each review point, which is on Blackboard, and RPTs can download this and share it with mentors. I'm going to refer to our grading statements, and I'll say more about those in a minute. I'm going to refer to an exemplar evidence of progress, again more in a minute, and an exemplar assessment of progress. So I'm going to start off with the checklist for each review point. And review points take place halfway through each school experience and at the end of each school experience. So interim reviews during the midway through the spring and the summer school experiences, and progress reviews at the end of the autumn, spring and summer school experiences. And RPTs should use this checklist to make arrangements. So you need time. So this does need to be timetabled into a very busy school day. It takes about an hour for a review point, perhaps a little bit more, perhaps a little bit less. You need a quiet and private space for the meeting, so somewhere away from the children, and you need access to a computer or a laptop because these assessments are done electronically. So I'm going to start off with our grading criteria statements, and these define expectations of RPTs at each point in during the PGC programme. So this is standard 1, and we have 3 sets of statements. So in term 1, we say that RPTs should present evidence to say that they are able to encourage pupils to participate and contribute in an atmosphere conducive to learning. And RPTs who are able to do this should be graded as a 2. So they are good, they are doing well. If they're exceeding this, if they're doing better than this, then they should be graded as a 1. And if they're not quite there yet, then they should be graded as a 3. So there's one set of statements for that autumn school experience for each teacher standard, including part 2. In the spring, we expect RPTs to have made progress. So whereas in the autumn, RPTs are able to encourage pupils, in the spring, we expect RPTs to present evidence to say that they confidently encourage pupils to participate and contribute in an atmosphere conducive to learning. If they're doing what the statements say, then they will be graded as a 2, as good. In the summer, it's slightly different, and we have statements to define each grade. So a grade 2 is this set of statements. They are reliable in encouraging pupils to participate and contribute. A grade 1, they constantly encourage pupils to participate and contribute. And grade 3, they are able to encourage pupils to participate and contribute. So throughout the placement and the programme, we expect RPTs to be providing evidence of their practice that can be assessed against these grading statements. Okay, so now I'm going to go to the evidence of progress document. This is a Word document which RPTs have ownership of, and it's on this that they record their evidence and link back to their school experience file. This one's from last year. This is a little bit more detailed than we actually expect from RPTs currently. All we expect is a link, a reference to the school experience file, to the location of the evidence. We don't expect this amount of detail anymore. So prior to the review, the interim review or the progress review, RPTs should do a self-assessment of their standards evidence, referring to the grading statements, but giving themselves a grade for each part standard. Mentors, it's fine to be involved in this if you would like to be. Some mentors are, some aren't. And it's this document with a full set of grading of grades that the RPT brings to the interim review meeting or the progress review meeting. And it's these grades in this right-hand column for each part standard that bring to the meeting to inform the grades for the whole teacher standards. So this column should be complete at the meeting, and it can be electronic or paper. So now on to the assessment of progress, and this is an Excel document that records progress throughout the PGCE. So this, if you see the tabs here, this is Progress Review 1 at the end of the autumn school experience, Interim Review 2, middle of the spring school experience, Progress Review 2 at the end of the spring school experience. And this is an assessment of progress document that is complete at the end of the spring school experience. So Interim Review 3 and Progress Review 3 haven't actually been conducted yet. So go back to Progress Review 1 and you can see that we have the grading statements here on the tab. This is the tab that will be completed during that Progress Review 1 meeting. So these are the grading statements that are on the document that I showed you just a minute ago. And I'm going to go to Progress Review 2. So this is the end of the spring school experience, and you can see that there are grades already there. So you can see the grades at the end of the autumn and at the middle of the spring school experience, and you can see that this RPT actually made progress. So they went from a 2 to a 1 in that time. So these boxes, because they are previous grades, they're not editable, but this box, Progress Review 2, has a drop-down box and it asks you to choose an overall grade. And I'm just going to go back to the evidence of progress, because you'll see for the 3-part standards, this RPT graded themselves with 2 2s and a 3. This is what they bring to that meeting, and it might be that as a mentor you think, yes, that's fine, that's fair grading. 2 2s and a 3, the best fit for that would be a 2, and so you would click the box, click the drop down box and enter 2 in there, and there's that grade of a 2. And you do that for all the teacher standards. So going back to the evidence of progress, if you go down to Teacher Standard 2, there are 5-part standards there. And it might be that there is a range of grades. There might be a 1, 3 2s and a 3. The best fit there would be a 3. But this is a process of negotiation, of scrutiny of the evidence and of discussion of the evidence that the RPT is presenting, and arriving at a best fit grade for that particular standard. So here, this RPT has been graded as a 2. Mentors need to add some comments, and then this document is submitted on Blackboard after the review point for us to assess progress. So this is Progress Review 2. If you look at the Interim Review 3 tab, that's yet to be done, but you can see those grades. And then this is the final assessment at the end of the programme. And you can see a summary of grades. So this links back to the previous tabs, and you can see a summary. This trainee is clearly very consistent. They're operating as a good trainee, and so they're making expected progress. So that is the review process. If you have any queries, please direct them to your mentor, your tutor in the first instance, and programme directors if your query isn't resolved that way.